Hello people, to the Sarcubate here with another video featuring these two single shots. The last video I made with these, I'm not sure which one I'll upload first, you know me, was a wood stock versus synthetic stock. Which one's better, which one do I prefer? But that's not the point of this video. What the point of this video is, New England Firearms single shots, or H&R, they're the same thing. It's like the difference between GMC and Chevrolet. It's same thing, different label. Versus Rossi. Which one? These are by far your two most popular single shot brands, at least that I've seen on YouTube and basically in the pawn shops and gun stores around me. I mean, I'll walk up and I'll look at the single shots and I'll see New England, or H&R, whatever, Rossi, and then a couple of miscellaneous old used ones, or these European American Armory that seem to be making their way onto pawn shops, which seem to be pretty good guns, but I don't have one. Which one do I think is better as far as quality? And by quality, I mean reliability, durability. The accuracy really isn't that big of an issue with a shotgun. Safety, I mean, how safe is the gun? Which that's something else I want to go into. Well, I'm not going to tell you which one I think is better until the end of the video. Otherwise, I'm going to lose some viewers. So here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you the pros and cons. Now, something that I've actually got not a full-fledged YouTube comment box argument yet, but there's somebody that I strongly disagree with that commented on a Rossi video. Somebody's Rossi single shot 20 gauge. I think A2 Redneck was the username. So, and he says that he hates the safety on the Rossis and how the hammer itself acts as a safety. I strongly disagree with that. You can never be too safe with a firearm. But something else to consider, it's not the safety, it's not the action, it's not the gun that's safe. It's the person that is using it. Alright? It's like, they actually said that on a car commercial a while back. It's not the car, we don't build cars safe. It's because, what did they say? They put it some different way, but it's true. And it's true with anything that could kill somebody. It's not the actual machine. It's not the gun that's safe. It is you. It is the person using it. So if you got some stupid idiot just messing around with a shotgun, yeah, it's not going to be safe. I don't care if it's locked up like a tank. But as far as quality goes, I have had quite a few problems with something like this. And this is not that old of a gun. This is no older than 30 years, because of the condition it's in. It was rusted out, but it was not taken care of when I bought it, so, you can see I put grill paint on it. I got that idea from somebody off of YouTube. Thank you very much. I forgot the username, but it works very well. You were on the right track. What the problems with this one is, I've had a couple of these in the past. 2 out of 3 of them all shot fine, but one of them shot high. I actually have a video on that one of me and my buddy Caleb shooting it, and it shoots high. So, that was bad, and I've never had a Rossi that did that, but I've never had a problem with these since then. But this one, as with all 3 of the ones that I've shot, fired, whatever, a lot of times when you're shooting, and it ain't just the cheap shells neither, it does it with some of the expensive shells. In fact, the first time I ever had it happen to me with one of these was with a 3-inch Magnum that was pretty expensive. It will not eject them. I mean, the ejector rod won't even come out. It'll just stay jammed in there, and I actually have to get a cleaning rod to get it out, which I have never had that problem with Rossi, ever. Now, what I have had a similar problem with Rossi, but I blame this on the ammunition. It was a Fiocchi shell made in Italy. I'm not sure how well Italy makes shotgun shells, but the ejector rod came out, but the shell's rim had not torn, but it kind of just slipped off of it. But I blame that on the ammunition, because I have some Fiocchi 20 gauge shells that have been getting jammed up in my bolt action shotgun, so I blame it on the Fiocchi shells. But another reason a lot of people say that these are just made better. You know, as far as just the steel and how they're built, there's not really much of a difference. Because they both lock up tight, or this one doesn't, but it's kind of old, like I said, and it wasn't taken care of. They both lock up tight, both brands. They're not gonna malfunction. It's a single shot. I don't care where it's made, whether it's Brazil or Massachusetts. It's a single shot. There's very few things that can go wrong. Now, one of the things I think that user on YouTube was saying was adding a safety is just adding another moving part to go wrong, which that's true, but a safety is a simple thing. If that breaks, it'll still fire. Alright? Unless it breaks on safe, then it won't, but But he was saying how the hammer acts as a safety. That's actually incorrect, because if some not smart person has their finger on the trigger and the hammer goes back and it accidentally fires like that right there, it's going to fire. Whereas with the Rossi, you put it on there. I know you're not supposed to dry fire much, but the firing pin did not strike the hammer. The hammer did not strike the firing pin, excuse me. Something else of my personal preference about these, it's not safety, it's not reliability or nothing. It's this kind of a big hammer. If you notice, they're not a big hammer, but it sticks up quite a bit, versus the Rossi that is kind of low profile, if you notice. This one just kind of sticks up. That tends to hang on my clothes when I'm hunting, my jackets and stuff, and it tends to hang on little brush limbs and stuff. I just ain't crazy over that right there. But again, that's just my personal preference. They're both made out of steel. All right, they're just they're both good guns. But now I'm going to tell you what my preference is. My preference and what my favorite is the Rossis. I like Rossis. They're my favorite. My first gun was identical to this, but it was a single shot Rossi 12 gauge, and it was the best. They're just good guns. I love them. You can't go wrong with a Rossi. They're something else. They're cheaper. The price tag is a lot smaller than the price tag on these. That's something that that's something that tells people, well, Rossi must be crap. No, price does not dictate quality. They're cheaper because they're made in Brazil, or they're less expensive because they're made in Brazil and imported. Whereas these are made in the USA. We don't have as cheap materials here. Look, the same material. This is both steel. Alright? It's cheaper to get steel in Brazil than the U.S. So they're using the same materials in Brazil or wherever else it might be made. It's Italy, Spain, whatever. It's still steel. The only difference is it's cheaper there. It's less expensive than in the U.S. We can't do nothing about that. But what I've noticed a lot of U.S. gun manufacturers are doing, they're actually putting more plastic parts in guns, and I'm starting to get a little ticked off at that. But I honestly think that Rossis are much better than the New Englands. But again, that's my personal opinion, and that comes from personal experience with both brands. So everyone's entitled to their opinion. I guess that's it. Please comment, please subscribe, and God bless.